For Buddha, the path to happiness starts from an understanding of the root cause of suffering. Those who considered Buddha a pessimist because of his concern with suffering have missed the point. In fact, he is a skillful doctor. He may break the bad news of our suffering, but he also prescribes a proactive course of treatment. In this metaphor, the medicine is the Buddha teaching of wisdom and compassion, known as Dharma, and the nurse that encourage us and show us how to take the medicine are Buddhist community of Sangha. The illness, however, can only be cured if the patient follows the doctor's advice and follows the course of treatment. The Eightfold Path of Buddha, the core of which involves control of the mind. In Buddhism, this treatment is not a simple medicine to be swallowed, but a daily practice of mindful thought and action that we ourselves can test scientifically through our own experience. Meditation is, of course, the most well known tool of the practice, but contrary to popular belief, it is not about detaching from the world. Rather, it is a tool to train the mind not to dwell in the past or the future, but to live in the here and now, the realm in which we can experience peace most readily. All that we are is the result of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. If one speaks or acts with an evil thought, pain follows one, as the wheel follows the foot of the ox that draws the wagon. All that we are in the results of what we have thought. It is founded on our thoughts. It is made up of our thoughts. If one speaks or acts with a pure thought, happiness follows one, like a shadow what never leaves. Now, something about Buddhism and happiness. The first and second verse of the Dhammapada, the earliest known collection of Buddha's sayings, talk about suffering and happiness. So it's not surprising to discover that Buddhism has a lot to offer on the topic of happiness. Buddha's contemporaries described him as ever smiling, and portrayals of Buddha almost always depict him with a smile on his face, but rather than the smile of a self-satisfied, materially rich or celebrated man. Buddha's smile comes from a deep equanimity from within. Now, something about Buddha, a little background. Something about Buddha's background. Buddha belongs a great emperor that was Shaka Emperor. Buddha left his home in the age of 32. He did not think about his family, whatever happened after gone of him. During the late 6th and early 5th century BC, Siddhartha Gautama of Sakya, who later became known as the Buddha, was born in modern-day Nepal, near the Indian border. while there are several mythic stories. That place was Lumini. That time it was a garden like surrounding his conception and birth. The basic facts of his life are generally agreed upon. Born into a wealthy royal family, the Buddha was born and raised in worldly luxury. Despite his father's attempts to shield him from the ugliness of life, one day he ventured out beyond the castle walls and encountered three aspects of life: the old man, the sick man, and the dead man. Each of these experiences troubled him and made him question the meaning and transience life and its pleasures. After this, he encountered an ascetic who, by choice, lived a life renouncing the pleasures of the world. Even while he was completely deprived of life's comforts, his eyes shined with contentment. This shocking experience moved Buddha to renounce his comfortable lifestyle in search of greatest meaning in life. It was during his time practicing extreme forms of self-denial that Buddha discovered the middle path of moderation, an idea that closely resembles Aristotle's golden mile. During his life, he had experienced intensive pleasure and extreme deprivation, but he found that neither extreme brought one to truth understanding. He then practiced meditation through deep concentration, that was in Hindi dhyan, under a Bodhi tree and found alignment. He began teaching the Four Noble Truths to others in order to help them achieve transcendent happiness and peace of mind through the knowledge and practice that is known today as Buddhism. The problem now something now let's start the solution of the problems that was asked by Buddha. The problem and the solution, the Four Noble Truths, and the Eightfold Path to Happiness. Buddha taught his followers the Four Noble Truths as follows. Life is means dukh. Dukh means mental dysfunction or suffering. Life is means dukh. Second, dukh arises from craving. Third, dukh can be eliminated. Fourth, the way to elimination of dukh is the Eightfold Path. Buddhist beliefs state that dukh ultimately arose from ignorance and false knowledge, while dukh is usually defined as suffering. Mental dysfunction is closer to the original meaning. In a similar vein, Hustle Smith explains dukh by using the metaphor of a shopping cart that we try to steer from the wrong end, or bones that have gone but out of joint. Because of such a mental misalignment, all movement, thoughts and creation That flow out can never be wholly satisfactory. In short, we can never be completely happy. It was a universal truth. Buddha's The Eightfold Path of Wisdom, Right View, Understanding, Right Intention. Eightfold Path of Buddha, Right View, Right Intention, Right Speech, Right Action, Right Livelihood, Right Effort, Right Mindfulness, and Right Concentration. The Eightfold Path is the practical and systematic way out of ignorance, eliminating dukh from our minds and our lifestyle through mindful thoughts and actions. It is presented as a whole system, but the three paths associated with the area of mental cultivation are particularly relevant to the happiness that we can find in equanimity or peace of mind. That's it. Jai Hind. Please mention the mistake of this video in this comment section. Thank you.